so what's up there, YouTube? Okay, so today I was going to talk to you guys about this new Nikon battery grip, the NB N10. I'm going to show you. It's the Nikon Z6 Z7 battery grip. They just announced it. It's NB N10 battery pack. It's the NB N10 battery grip. Basically, it's a grip for the Z6 and Z7 cameras. Basically, it has no buttons on it, so everybody's freaking out. Not freaking out, but everybody's like, this thing's useless. If it doesn't have buttons on it, what's the point? Blah blah blah. And I think they're missing the point. The point is not. It might not be for you, but it is for me. To me, this battery grip is ingenious. It's the best thing ever, and I'm going to show you why right now. On a normal Nikon DSLR, the battery grip just screws in the bottom. Let me show you how it goes on. So you get a battery grip, and it serves a couple purposes. So this is the battery grip. It basically screws onto the thread, and it has a computer connection right here that goes into the bottom of the camera right here. So it clicks into there and makes its connection. So that you keep one battery in the camera. So there's a battery that goes in the camera, and then the second battery goes in the grip. And you're like, well, okay, so you get the two batteries. That's awesome. It can change batteries. So this thing slides out, and then the battery snaps in. So your battery, you snap a new battery in. You go, okay, there. Boom, snap a battery in, pop it back in the grip. You're good to go, right? Not exactly. So if you're shooting, say you're shooting video. Also, real quick, I'm going to tell you something else that I don't do, and it's just because it's out of habit, purely out of habit. I just don't do it. So when I'm shooting photos, I'm shooting like this landscape, right? Most of the time, landscape. When I go to shoot portrait, I just turn my hand. I just do this. I don't turn my hand and then move my hand to this to get the button on the side. I don't use the buttons on the grip. I never do. These buttons on the grip, I could just lock this off. I don't use it. I don't use the button on the grip. I do if it's over prolonged periods of time. If I'm shooting portrait and I know I'm shooting a whole group of people and it's all portrait, then I'm doing it. But 90% of the time I'm shooting landscape, and then I just flip it, get a portrait shot, go back to landscape. So most of the time I don't use the buttons on the camera, on the grip. So that's me. That's for photography. For video, I don't use the buttons at all on the grip because there's no reason, because there's the record button on the top of the camera right there, right? And same thing on the Z6. On the Z6, there's the video record button right there. So it's not the shutter button. So even if the only way I would use that, I wouldn't use it this way anyway, because I don't shoot video sideways. If I want to shoot video sideways, I shoot it with a phone. That's what I shoot with. Let me explain to you how it works now on a Nikon DSLR. Okay, you're in video, right? You got the little switch set to video. The mirror goes up. You're using the battery in the grip. It shows you both batteries in the menu, but you have to use the grip battery first. So if this thing's sitting on a tripod, it's using the battery in the grip first. This one in here. The problem is it will automatically switch to the battery in the camera, but when it does, it stops recording video. So if you're recording video, it'll switch and you won't know it, and you think you're still recording video and you have no idea. Oh no, it stopped recording. Hold on, Bubby. That's my grandson over there on the bed. Anyway, it'll stop recording video. And you're like, oh no, it stopped. You could sit there for 5 minutes and not realize, oh no, it stopped recording. Oh no, it switched to the internal battery. That's problem number one. All of them do that. D850, when it switches automatically from the one in the grip to the one in the camera, it stops recording video. It just stops it. It doesn't seamlessly switch it. That's problem number one. Problem number two is, the only other way to avoid it is, this is how I do it now. Sitting on a tripod, I'm recording video, right? I see the little red light flashing. Oh no, the battery's almost dead in the grip. I stop recording, pull the little thing, pull the battery out a little bit, start recording again, because I can't wait to change this battery. So now it's using the battery in the camera. That's the only convenient way to do this. Now it's using the battery in the camera. Now I can go change this battery that's in the little holder that goes in the grip. So I go change the battery. I can't just push it in. If I do, it'll automatically switch to the one back in the grip, and bam, I lost the clip again. It stops the clip again. So I have to wait for the next good time. See, and it's a matter of waiting for when's a good time to change it. If the light starts flashing and I have no other option, I'll have to stop it. But what I do is I wait for, like, say, between vows, or the vows are about to come up. I'm like, okay, the vows are about to come up. I don't want to miss them. It's down to 1 bar, or it's starting to flash. Boom, stop recording, pull the battery out, start recording. Now wait until after the vows are done. Then pull this out, change the battery, have it sitting here waiting for after the vows. Once the vows are done, stop recording, push the battery back in, start recording, lock it down, and that's how I have to do it. So I have basically 3 clips every time the battery has to change. See, and people that do photography, just photography, don't even realize this. They're like, oh, it's stupid, it doesn't have the buttons on it, it's useless. No, it's completely useful, because number one, if you're on say you're on a gimbal, you guys doing photography only don't use these. Why would you use a gimbal? But if I'm on a gimbal and I've got my Z6 and it's sitting on a gimbal, to change the battery, I've got to pull it off the gimbal, take the battery out of the bottom, swap it out, put it back on the gimbal, right? Balance it back again. With the battery grip, you just change the battery on the side, so I can get to the battery on the side of the gimbal right there. The battery will be right here, so I can get to it. The battery is going to be on the other side, I can get to it. So I can constantly hot swap batteries on the gimbal. I had this happen, even if I was shooting that long on the gimbal to use up 2 batteries, which I probably won't do. You might use up 1 battery. You might use 1 battery up while on the gimbal. The thing is with a battery grip, you got 2 batteries. So even if 1 battery dies, you still got the other battery, you can continue to shoot. I had a shoot at a wedding recently. I was up front shooting on the gimbal, battery died. I had to pull the camera off, unslide it off, flip it over, take the battery out, get another battery, put it back in, slide it back on, level it back up, hit the button, start recording again. All that time wasted when all I had to do was just let it go to the next battery. And if I'm sitting there with it on a gimbal, I can actually take it out. Also, if you're shooting this and this is on a gimbal, when you pull this out to stop the battery, now you've changed the weight. So now the gimbals might vibrate more or something because the weight is changed because you've pulled this over to the side. Now you've moved that center of weight over to the right a little bit. It probably won't do that much, but still, it's a little something extra that you don't have to worry about when you have batteries that can hot swap. So for all the people for all the guys out there that are like, and gals, that are out there like, oh, this is a useless feature. This battery grip is completely useless without the buttons. For you, it's useless. For me, it's the best thing I love it. The other thing that was kind of neat, to me it's a great idea, is it has USB. So I could take one of these little battery packs and plug it into the USB and get a little extra power. I don't know if it will this will charge the battery while it's in there, or if that's the thing we need to know. But for $200, that's a definite buy for me, is the battery grip. I've been waiting for the grip just to be able to put batteries in the camera and that way I don't run out of power while I'm shooting video. Also, shooting video is a lot more draining on the battery than shooting photos. When I'm shooting photos, it's not a big deal to pull the battery out and change it because I'm not doing it in the middle of a photo. So I'm shooting photos, even if I'm between photos, I'm not missing anything. I'm like, hold on a second. Pull the battery out, put in another battery, continue shooting photos. It's not a big deal. It's not stopping the recording. I'm not getting half an image before and after. I'm getting a full image, change the battery, full image. So it's not really a problem at all to change the batteries while doing photos. But for video, you can miss a huge thing if the battery dies. You can miss a very important thing if the battery dies while you're in the middle of shooting video. In photos, you can tell. It just starts flashing, tells you, oh, the battery's dead, pull it out, pop in another battery, get one out of your bag, stick it back in, you're good to go. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you today. And I know I haven't made a lot of videos lately, but comment below. Tell me what you guys think. Does this thing seem like something you would get? Was the battery grip? Or is it a grip, just a battery grip not enough for you because you shoot mostly photos? If you shoot mostly photos, I guess probably you wouldn't. And if you were looking to shoot mostly photos, mostly portrait mode, you'd probably be disappointed by this grip. Me, personally, I'm not disappointed by it. I'm more disappointed by the Z50 than I am about the grip because I don't really care for the Z50. I'm not going to get it. If I'm spending almost $1,000, I may as well just get the Z6. I don't see the point in getting the Z50. The screen flips down. They kind of crippled it for a couple things. It's kind of neat, but it's not that great. They changed the batteries. Who knows how long those will last. They got smaller batteries in it. There's a lot of stuff. We'll go on about the Z50 when it comes out and we get some more reviews and stuff. I guess for a DX format, you know, crop sensor is probably pretty good. I don't know what the video's like on it yet. I hear the eye autofocus is much better though, so that's always a positive. Anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later, YouTube. See ya.